Hello everyone. They always say save the best for last, so let's finish up with the fun part. And that's everything you need for building. Now, for the better part, our D7 just snaps together. We call it Gothafit, and more than ever, it's all about that best and completely free tool on the planet. And let me show you a quick example. So here I'm going to snap together just the two crankcase halves. I mean, it's better than Lego. Now, we laughed our ass off when Thanasis finished this up and he demonstrated that for the first time. Now, I mean, in all honesty, it took me about 7 takes, I think, to get that solid fat click. Now, as some of you may have seen me doing it on shows, I mean, this is one where I did it about, I think, more than 50 times, so it's never as good or as crisp as the first time. So after a while, it's only normal that it suffers from high cycle fatigue. But let's just hope that you can enjoy that same moment, because it's a highlight on the journey. Now, this was pretty much straightforward because it goes much more extreme. Like an elevator that snaps into the tailplane or an aileron into the top wing, even up to the turnbuckles which snap into the control horns. And then this one will come in handy, the one you already used for support removal, the tweezer. And let me show you an example. So here I'm going to install the seat into the cockpit. And in fact, you don't even need a tweezer because, I mean, the seat has these openings and it just fits into the original mounting points. It's just that with a tweezer you can work more precisely. Now for the remainder, that odd 20 or 25% or so that needs gluing, actually we prefer the term bonding. Our clear favorite is resin UV, or gothaflash as we like to call it. Later in the series we'll cover that more extensively, but for now I just took a video I posted on Facebook way back ago. I had to strip it off with the music because otherwise YouTube would be bitching, but then I provided it with some commentary, so it should serve its purpose. So this video is about a demonstration where I bond a wingtip to one of the wing sections, and as you see, and as I mentioned in an earlier video, it's just more convenient to keep the supports on the wingtip because it gives you a better grip during the bonding process. Yeah, that's a bit of marketing. And then you just take a bit of resin. So it's resin UV, not UV glue. UV glue allows you to bond different materials. This is more restrictive, but then the big plus is that it's the same material, so that provides the best bond. So you put a bit on a piece of aluminum. And then, yeah, here I just use a standard brush, but in the resin UV kit we've provided 2 specific ones. And now this is an angle chisel. In the kit there's also a flat one, so you would use rather that one, and they're also smaller, so they sit better in your hand. Now, as you see here, it's very clean and forgiving. I mean, if you would do that with plastic cement, then it melts. Here you just can wipe it off with alcohol. And the good thing is that as it stays liquid, I mean, you can go drink a coffee or take care of your significant other, and then after 15 minutes you go back and you can just continue where you left off. So here I will do the bonding with the UV light. Took me some time to get it on. And then you just line up everything nicely, and then after a couple of seconds it just bonded. And then, as I showed, once it's bonded, then you can easily take off the supports. Just as anything, it's not flawless. Every adhesive loves a clean surface, and here in particular it's dependent on the UV light to be able to access it. So you typically work on the sides. Now we've integrated that into the engineering, at least to a large extent, because we've only taken it on board in the course of the project. But it's definitely worth something trying out. It may take you out of the comfort zone, but then comfort is usually the enemy of progress. And we've foreseen a specially purpose-built resin UV kit for that, which has the 3 colors that are used in the D7, so you can bond white with white, and then gray and gray, and then, yeah, black with black. Now, does that mean that you cannot use traditional methods? No, of course not, and you'd be surprised which ones you can use. So an alternative is white glue or wood glue or PVA glue, whatever you want to call it. It's surprisingly effective. In fact, Kostas pointed it out to me because here he did the underside, so the undercowl and even the chin. He did that with white glue. And it's largely thanks to the precision of the fits, so that even with white glue things tend to hold well. And then here we have the Prince of Darkness, CA or super glue. Now, I'm not a big fan, and that's putting it mildly. It's kind of hit and miss, and it seems to love your fingers more than anything else. And if it was just me, because a lot of the feedback we've received comparing 3D to injection molding is that people just prefer good old Tamiya plastic cement rather than wrestling with super glue on resin. And instead of thinking in the box to overcome this drawback, we just flip the script completely by asking ourselves, now, what if we would not need glue at all? Now, with resin UV in the mix, we found the sweet spot, so there's no need to take it to such an extreme, because actually it's a great balance. Now, you'll still need a little CA glue at best for the rigging, but that's about it. And then one takeaway I was told recently is that for best use, it's best to keep it in the fridge. On to some masking tools, because building these planes is a bit of a dance between building and painting, so you want to keep the bonding points clean throughout. I mean, every adhesive simply works best that way. So with a bit of masking tape or a bit of tack, that's all you need to cover those areas while you're airbrushing or painting. In that way, the bonding points stay clean and they are ready for a reliable assembly later on. Then last but not least, towards the final stages, it's a bit about bringing the major pieces together, such as fixing the top wing or the undercarriage. Now we have options there. Either you use a jig or you can just simply recycle and reuse the foam inserts that come with the packaging. The assembly of these things is pretty straightforward, so it can work just as well. I mean, as long as it rests soft and stable, that's usually all you need to get the job done, and you'll be fine. I mean, you could even recycle the foams by inverting them in the box, and then you have built yourself a nice display stand. This wraps up our section on the tools needed for building. Next up is a video with some 1-minute summaries for those of you who want a quick recap or have little time or patience. And then we'll dive into the build itself, starting with the engine. Thanks for watching and looking forward to see you again. Bye.